to the engineering graphics course. Working as a engineering college. Today I would like to explain about orthographic projections. What is meant by the orthographic projections? Orthographic means it is the three-dimensional objects represented in two-dimensional. It means the representation of three-dimensional object into two-dimensional with the help of multi-view only represents the three-dimensional objects. Here multi-view represents the two-dimensional objects in various views, like below the HP, above the HP, in front of the VP, behind the VP, in the HP, in the VP, etc. In these orthographic projections, the following topics are covered in these sessions: projections of the points, projections of lines, projections of planes. Here let us know more about projections of points. What is meant by the projections of point? A point is defined as a geometrical element that has no dimension. In engineering drawing, a point is represented by a dot. This chapter deals with the projections of points. The locations of a point, the orthographic projections are obtained on two principal planes, also known as reference planes, having negligible thickness, namely vertical plane and horizontal plane. The principal planes are perpendicular to each other and divided the space into four coordinates. Here representing three-dimensional object into two-dimensional. It means here to neglect the thickness of the object. So the object is shown in two-dimensional with the help of horizontal plane and vertical plane. The two planes are connected with the help of representing plane or representing line. It is divided into four coordinates, means first angle projection, second angle projection, third angle projection and fourth angle projection. A point lying in the space can be divided in one of the following positions with respect to the principal planes. They are: first one, above the HP and in front of the VP. It means it's showing the objects in first angle projection. For example, take a reference line. It is horizontal line and it is the vertical plane. To draw the horizontal plane and vertical plane, it divides the four coordinates. It means first angle projection, second angle, third angle and fourth angle. Here the condition is, first one is the object above the HP and in front of the VP. Above the HP means the object is above the HP. For example, the object is here. It represents the above the HP and in front of the VP. If the object is here, it means the object is above the HP and behind the VP. The object is behind the VP. If the object is here, it represents the object is below the HP and behind the VP. If the object is here, it represents the object is below the HP and in front of the VP. Here the four conditions are covered here: above the HP, in front of the VP, behind the VP, below the HP, behind the VP, and in front of the VP is covered. And fifth point is on the HP and in front of the VP. It means the object is here. For example, I am taking one object, means square object or rectangular object. One rectangular object is here. It means the object is on the HP and in front of the VP. If the object is here, the object on the HP and behind the VP. If the object is here, the object is below the HP and in the VP. If the object is here, the object is above the HP and in the VP. The following conditions are covered. And last one, below the HP, on the HP and behind the VP is covered, above the HP and on the VP covered, below the HP and on the VP, and last condition on both the HP and VP. It means the object is on reference plane. The object is on reference plane. If the object is here, it means above the HP and in front of the VP. If the object is above the HP and behind the VP. If the object is here, the object is below the HP and behind the VP. The object is here, object is below the HP and in front of the VP. And next one, conventional representation. The actual positions of a point is designated by the capital letters such as A, B, C, P, Q, R, etc. Its front view is drawn on the vertical plane, the top view is drawn on the horizontal plane, and the side view is drawn on the profile plane. The line of intersection of the principal plane is known as a reference line or XY line. The reference line should be drawn as continuous narrow line. It is customary to rotate the horizontal plane in clockwise direction about the reference line XY through 90 degrees such that it becomes coplanar with the VP. Coplanar with the VP. This makes the front, the top and side views coplanar when drawn on the sheet. The conventions used to represent the projections of a point are as follows. Their first one is the front view is represented by the small letters with dashes such as A dash, B dash, C dash, P dash, Q dash, R dash, etc. If the object is in top view, the top view is represented by small letters without dashes such as A, B, C, etc. The side view is represented by small letters with the double dashes such as A double dash, B double dash, C double dash, P double dash, Q double dash, R double dash, etc. The positions, here the table represents the position of the object and RL means reference line and views. For example, the object is here, the position is here, it means above the HP. To draw the reference line, for example here I am draw the reference line. I'm drawn here. The reference line above the HP means it showing the upward direction. Reference line is shown upward direction. Upward direction, and the view is the front view. The view is front view. It means the observer is here. The observer, if the observer is here to show the object, observer is here to show the object, it is on the vertical plane. In that vertical plane, the object projection of the plane represents the front view drawn above the HP. And if the observer is here, the observer is here to show the object, observer is here to show the object from front view. The object is placed on the projection of the horizontal plane. It represents the top view. The top view represents on the horizontal plane and front view represents on the vertical plane. So here top view is drawn here. Top view is drawn here. For example, to show the one example problem, draw the front view and top view of a point A lying 70 mm above the HP and 50 mm in front of the VP. Means draw the front view and top view of a point A lying 70 mm above the HP and 50 mm in front of the VP. In front means downward direction. The reference line is to draw downward direction. Represent top view means below the HP. Here front view means above the HP. For example, I'm drawn here. Point lying 70 mm above the HP means to draw the line above the HP 70 mm above the HP and 50 mm in front of the VP. In front of the VP means to draw the line from the reference line to downward direction. Here I am draw the line in downward direction with 50 mm. It is the first condition, the point above the HP and in front of the VP. And second condition is the point above the HP and behind the VP. Point above the HP and behind the VP. The point is above HP and behind VP. Behind means reference line to draw the upward direction, and above the HP means to draw the upward direction. It is the front view, it is the top view. It means to draw front view drawn above the horizontal plane, top view draw below the horizontal plane. So the condition is B point lying 70 mm above the HP. 70 mm above the HP and behind 50 mm. It means 70 mm above the HP means to draw the upward direction, and 50 mm above the HP. Above the HP, it means behind means to draw the upward direction. Behind means to draw the upward direction. 50 mm. I am drawing again 50 mm line. means the 50 mm above the upward direction and 70 mm above the upward direction. The second condition is the point above the HP and behind the VP. It means the point, the object in the second angle projection plane. And third one, the point below the HP and behind the VP, means the object is in the third angle projection plane. Here the condition is draw the projections of a point C lying 70 mm below the HP and 50 mm behind the VP. Behind means to draw the upward direction, both are in the same direction. Sorry, below the HP, 70 mm below the HP and 50 mm behind the HP. Behind means upward direction, below means downward direction. So here I am drawing 70 mm below the HP and 50 mm behind means upward direction, 50 mm above the HP. Above the HP. And fourth condition is point below the HP and in front of the VP, means the object is in the fourth angle projection plane. The condition is draw the projections of a point D lying 70 mm below the HP and 50 mm in front of the VP. In front means downward direction, both are in the downward direction. It means 70 mm below the HP and the condition second one 50 mm in front of the VP. In front means downward direction. Downward direction. And the fifth condition is the point above the HP and on the VP. The point above the HP and on the VP. Draw the projections of a point F, means the point above the HP and on the VP. It means above the HP on the VP. The object is here. For example, the point F lying 70 mm above the HP and on the VP. On the VP and 70 mm above the HP. 70 mm above the HP means 70 mm above the HP on the VP. It is the condition. And remaining also same. And last one example problem is here. It represents the multi views in multi planes, means first angle, second angle, third angle, fourth angle projections. The final output